this revolution has had several phases. The first phase was the one that culminated in the enthronement of reason on the altar of Notre Dame in Paris, and of course on the flight from of the Pope from Rome at the time of the establishment of the Roman Republic. Pius VI ended up dying in exile, and at the time, the Masons and the liberals of that period toasted to Pius the Last and said the reign of the Galilean has ended. Unfortunately for them, what they viewed as a reliable revolutionary general named Bonaparte decided that he could not be emperor if there was not a pope. And the popes and the College of Cardinals were called to Venice, and Pius VII was elected. There was a recovery of the Catholic position in the early 19th century after the fall of Napoleon, but there were still another phase of revolutions in both Latin America and in Europe, and they culminated in the late that second phase culminated in the late 19th and early 20th century with the final dispossession of the Pope from his temporal sovereignty in Rome by the Savoyards, with the law of separation in France in 1905, which not only completely separated church and state, but essentially dissolved the entire Catholic school system and suppressed all Catholic religious orders, with the overthrow of the monarchy in Portugal in 1910, and of course with the Kulturkampf in Germany in the late 19th century. There was yet another Catholic recovery in the early 20th century. And what we saw is a whole generation of Catholic leaders. By the way, Hilary Belloc makes the point that the faith was very weak in Europe at the time of the French Revolution, but because of the persecution of the Revolution, that sparked a reaction, which in the course of about 3 or 4 generations brought a much stronger and more vibrant, to use a terrible liberal term, but a more determined Catholicity. And he said that peaked around the area of 1890. Now, a whole generation of Catholic leaders were born in that last third of the 19th century, and that generation of leaders were counter-revolutionary. And you see Francisco Franco in Spain, who stopped a communist revolution dead in its tracks. Antonio Salazar in Portugal. Alcide de Gasperi in Italy. Now, not so much conservative as the others, but still, what you saw was after World War II, instead of anti-clericalism being the kind of sine qua non of Italian political leadership, you actually saw a Catholic political party, albeit somewhat liberal, embracing certain liberal tendencies, but nonetheless pro-papal, pro-Catholic, and pro-church.